It's Mythbuster Monday, and here's the myth: nice guys finish last. And it's a little unique Mythbuster Monday because I want to tell you a story that happened to me in meeting Jim Lovell, the astronaut of Apollo 13 that just passed away this past week. It was the 1990s. I was doing a keynote address for an agricultural chemical company, about 300 people in the audience, and on the agenda, it said, Scott McCain keynote speech, break, surprise guest afterwards. No one knew who was coming. And the meeting was in Orlando. Well, after my speech was over, the CEO of the company walked up and said, I really don't like public speaking.
Morning, everyone.
I got to introduce this surprise guest. I would really appreciate it if you would do it instead of me. Well, that's really unusual. I finished my keynote, and frankly, I was going to head to the airport. I didn't know they even had a surprise guest. But when he told me it was astronaut Jim Lovell, I naturally wanted to introduce him. I wanted to hear his speech. I wanted the privilege of shaking his hand. So I took the script. I did the introduction after the break is over. Lovell comes out, shakes my hand, gives the speech. He was terrific. After his speech is over, I walk up to shake his hand, and the first words out of his mouth were, "Do you have a rental car?" That wasn't what I was expecting. I was hoping he'd say nice introduction or whatever. And by the way, he later used that introduction in his video demo that he would send out to prospective clients, which I thought was awfully nice. But I did have a rental car. And he said, look, here's the deal. I'm contractually obligated to go with these folks to the Cape and show them NASA, but I have to ride the bus with them, and I'd like to learn more about speaking. I'm just kind of starting it. So if you got a rental car, you and I could drive over there together, and then we'd meet them, and we could drive back tonight if you don't mind staying an extra night. Well, I certainly didn't mind to do that to get time with Jim Lovell. And as we're driving over there, he opens up his briefcase, he pulls out his calendar, and there were just a couple of speeches booked on the calendar. And I was surprised, here's this famous astronaut. But then he mentioned, oh, and by the way, just offhandedly said, Ron Howard is doing a movie about Apollo 13, and Tom Hanks is playing me. Well, I couldn't help it. I burst out laughing, and I said, you've got no problem booking speeches in the future, because when this movie comes out, you're going to be busier than you can even imagine. Well, I don't know if he believed me or not. He acted a little bit skeptical in a very, very nice way. So we get to the Cape, and he shows the group everything that's involved there. We had a great behind-the-scenes tour. Now he and I are going to drive back. And as I walk out, he's leaning up against the rental car, waiting on me. And it was a beautiful, clear night, and the moon was that incredibly white color it can get sometimes. It's almost translucent. And he just so casually said to me, that's about the color it is when you're up there. He's been to the moon. He's talking about the moon, and he said that so casually. So we get back to the hotel. We had a great night. We thanked each other for a great day, and I thought I'd never see him again. Fast forward a few months, the movie Apollo 13 comes out. It's an incredible hit. I got bumped up to first class to show you how long ago it was, a TWA flight out of St. Louis. The seat next to me is open, and right as the door is about to close, Jim Lovell walks on and takes the seat next to me. But he didn't say anything to me. And I said, hello, Captain Lovell. And he just nodded, and he sat down. And I thought, oh my gosh, he doesn't remember me. That's too bad. I really enjoyed it. And he opened up his briefcase, and he pulled out the same type of calendar that he had before. And he opened it up, and there's stuff on every date. I mean, he's booked beyond belief. And he turned to me and started laughing. And he said, and that's what happened when Ron Howard directs your demo tape. He was an exceedingly wonderful man. We exchanged a few emails over the years, and he just was nothing more than just an incredibly nice human being. So the myth that nice guys finish last is totally outdated, because the fact of the matter is Jim Lovell proved that nice men and nice women can finish first. I'll see you next week.